another episode of A Walk in My Shoes. My name is Angelique Clay, and I am here today with a very special guest and my friend and my dance teacher and the greatest woman of all time, Miss Tiffany Schlater.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
To
what a nice
A Walk in My
introduction.
Shoes.
Thank you.
You're
Glad
welcome.
to be here.
So, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready.
All right. Well, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself. Let's just start from the very beginning.
Oh, from the very beginning?
Yes.
Okay. Well, from as long as I can possibly remember, I wanted to be a dancer. I wanted to dance. I loved music and I wanted to dance. My mom saw that early. She got me into dance classes when I was 3. Continued on that path. My dance teacher thought maybe I would enjoy competition, so I started competing. And then I found a company that I fell in love with in Chicago, Gus Giordano Jazz Dance Chicago, and I just knew that I wanted to be part of that company and dance with them. So every summer, from 6th grade till I graduated, I would go and train with them. So they knew who I was and I would know their style and hopefully I could get in their company someday. And when I graduated high school at 17, I moved to Chicago and I ended up getting to dance for Gus. I trained in every genre and it was a good thing because at the time, tap made a big resurgence. And I ended up getting to be in a tap company as well and do some really great things with them. So through my 20s, I did that. Then moving on to teaching, choreographing, teaching conventions around the country, judging dance competitions, and teaching here locally and directing a studio.
Yes, so awesome. So fun fact, Tiffany and I, well, first of all, she was my dance teacher when I was like, I think I was like 10 years old when I first had your class. Jailhouse Rock, I remember.
Jailhouse Rock.
But now we teach at the same studio, and
And you're receiving your own accolades,
yes,
girl.
It's coming very full circle for us.
That's
so,
amazing. That's the way it should be. It should go to the next group, next generation.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yep. So, like you said, you started off in Chicago. Was there any challenges that you faced, or were there any fears just like taking that leap and
oh my gosh,
just leaving?
yeah. First of all, I was 17 when I graduated, so I was terrified. I'd never lived on my own. But I was also young enough to think I can do this. I had the confidence to do it. My mother was super supportive. My dance teacher was supportive. My grandmother was very supportive. So I just went for it and made the leap. But that was in the 80s and 90s. So there was a very certain body type that they wanted, and mine didn't fit all of those genres. So that was a big hang up for me at the time. And just in general, auditioning, people saying, you don't look right, you're not tall enough, you're not short enough, you're not whatever enough. So there was a lot of negative feedback in that way. For every 10 no's, you might get 1 yes. But it was that 1 yes that always kept you hanging on. So it was a big challenge, just believing in myself and not believing what other people were telling me.
Right.
Right. Knowing what I wanted and going for it.
Yeah, and I think
Confidence.
that's the biggest thing too, especially in like the arts industry, just like always having those people who are going to say, you know, you're not good enough for this, and having that one person that believes in you, has that confidence in you that you can do whatever you want to do. It
is completely true.
Yeah.
It is.
So, so after Chicago,
yeah,
you start teaching, you start choreographing.
I did.
What was your biggest accomplishment as far as being a teacher?
Being a teacher?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I know you have several, but
well,
if you had to pick one.
As a teacher, my biggest accomplishment, I guess, I mean, watching my dancers go on to the next level is a huge accomplishment. That makes me feel so happy that I've had a small part in getting someone to their dream, because I'm living my dream. I've lived my dream my whole life. So to see my students go on and live their dream, whatever dream that is, whether I just help them have the confidence to do it or they go in the dance industry, I think that's probably the biggest satisfaction for. And the older I get, that's the things that are more important.
Right.
Like you win awards and competitions and all that, but it's real life stuff and people's real life that really makes you feel good.
Yep. So let's say, for instance, someone wants to start dance or they want to pursue a dance career path, but maybe they've had no experience. Maybe they're, 14, 15, 16 years old and never taken a ballet class in their life or never taken a dance class, period. what kind of advice would you have for someone who maybe thinks it's a little bit too late to start getting into dance?
It is never too late to start. I know people that started into their 20s, had never had a dance class before, but they've got a natural talent, natural ability, and it grew very quickly. So if you're looking at a place to start, I'd say pick what genre you're passionate about. Are you passionate about hip hop, ballet, jazz, and focus it on that. Find something locally. There's tons of stuff online, free classes, and start training and going the direction specifically you want to be in. So if you want to be a jazz dancer, you're going to have to take ballet first. If you want to be a hip hop dancer, there's even conventions that come into town that cost money, but there's scholarships available. You can audition for scholarships and get to go to those types of things for free. But there's so much on the internet to get started. But I'd say focus on what your goals are, and then everything working towards that goal.
Yeah. So going now into your career as a competition judge, what made you want to get into judging, just getting past teaching and start judging?
You know, I didn't even know that's something that I wanted to do. I didn't even know that I would be good at it or be asked to do it. When I retired from professionally dancing, I moved home, I ended up getting married, having a daughter, and I thought, oh, this is going to be my nice life. I'm teaching in a studio, quiet life. And then someone approached me and said, would you like to judge for this dance competition? I'm like, yeah, I think I would. I think I would. And I felt like, yeah, I guess. I mean, you pay me to do that? Yes, I would love to do that. That's fun. And then getting to give younger dancers the audio critique, I feel like it helps them get better at their craft and what they're doing. I feel like being an adult in this, I've got a lot to offer and a lot of experience to offer. So that's how that started. And then a few other competitions asked me to judge, and I continued doing that. You just have to travel on the weekends. It pays good money. You get to pass on your knowledge, and by chance. It's not something I was trying to find, but it found me. So I'm glad.
Yeah. Is there any experience that you would recommend people have? Would they need to be a teacher first before they're a judge? Would they need a choreographer first? Or what kind of experience would prepare somebody who wanted to be a dance competition judge?
I always think you have to do what you're judging, in my opinion, to really be able to judge all aspects of dance: performance, technique, costuming, staging. I feel like you need to do a lot of that. So I think you should be a dancer, number one. You have to have some dance experience.
Just go in there.
Yeah, you can't just go in there. And anytime you could get in other aspects, like then you go to teaching, then you go to choreographing, I think all of those things just make you a better and more well-rounded judge. Breakdancing is what I learned back in the 80s. So hip hop was another generation difference. So I had to do some studying about that. I had to take some hip hop classes. I had to learn about that so I could feel like I was educated in giving the dancers good feedback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk about where you're at now. Okay. So you are teaching, you're choreographing, you're going all over the country. What are you most looking forward to, in the coming months, years, whenever?
Right. Well, I feel like I've been so lucky that I've been able to work in every field that I've wanted to do within the dance community. So I'm 53, so don't let anyone tell you that you're too old to be in this industry. There's always something to do in this industry. But I just found out this week I'll be doing a 6-week tour in Australia.
What?
Yeah, nobody really knows about that yet.
Oh my goodness!
I just got my contract.
You heard it here live, guys.
Just got my contract this week, so I'll be judging on the weekends. It'll be a 6 cities tour and teaching master classes during the week.
Well, that's awesome.
I know, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
I'm really looking. It's a long time to be away from home, but I can't pass up that kind of opportunity.
For sure, and definitely not.
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is just so amazing. This is crazy to me that you're sitting right here in front of me like this.
Oh, well,
this is awesome.
I'm excited to be here. I also always wanted to be a mom too, and this has afforded me to, I can be home a lot. I've got a pretty flexible schedule. So my daughter's 25 now. She was a dancer too. She assisted me all over the country, so that was really fun. But I felt like I had a really nice balance of doing what I loved and working hard and making a good living at it, and still being the mom that I wanted to be and be able to be home as much as I wanted to be. So some people will say you can't make a living in the dance industry. I'm here to tell you you can't. And be a good mom, and be good to yourself, and make a good living.
Yeah.
If you hustle and work hard.
Yeah. And I think, like, you're right, that does probably stop a lot of people from, they want to pursue their dream, but they also want to have a family. And it's like, how do you balance the two? But you have just made both work so well.
That's what I wanted.
All right. So any piece of advice that you would give to someone who, wants to start being in the dance industry? Maybe they've already taken dance classes. Maybe they're already, a competition kid, but they want to make a career out of this. What advice would you have for them?
Be seen. Be seen. And it's hard sometimes financially to go to conventions and be seen by choreographers and people that are in the industry. But you can audition for scholarships and be relentless. Just keep sending videotapes of yourself to whatever, whether it's Monsters of Hip Hop or Car Convention or whatever convention outlet best suits what your goals are. But try to be seen, never stop training, and audition for everything. Audition. If you get it, maybe you want it, maybe you don't. That's fine, but audition for everything. It'll give you experience and you'll be seen. And eventually you'll have to go to the city, move to the city where that industry is most booming and where you'll be most marketable.
What if someone is apprehensive as far as like moving? Maybe they don't want to leave Ohio. Like, what opportunities would be available to them, just like here locally? To be a dancer?
Sure. Well, there's new opportunities popping up all the time. There's little companies here in Ohio. I mean, Ballet Met's a pretty big company, and they do national tours. There's other smaller companies. There's the drag community. There's I don't want to give out a lot of names, but there if you just look it up, paid or professional dance companies in your area, you can find things. You can find, or maybe you have to drive to Cleveland, like the tap company in Cleveland and Detroit's booming right now. So you might have to drive a little bit, but do your research.
Yeah. And I know that, your successes and your story will help a lot of people who maybe want to pursue a career in dance but don't really know where to start.
I hope so. My mom told me when I was doubting myself so much, when you're graduating from high school, you feel like every decision you make is going to affect the rest of your life. Like, oh, it's so heavy. And I'm like, but Mom, I just don't know if I can be a dancer. I'm not sure. And she's like, why not? Why not you?
Yeah.
You might not be Baryshnikov or a household name, but why not you? You'll never know unless you try.
Yeah.
And if you fail, you go on to something new.
Yep.
If you succeed, then you've reached your goals. So don't give up. Have confidence and go for it. Just go for it.
Live your dream.
Now live your dream.
Defy gravity.
Defy gravity. Don't let anybody hold you down, tell you can't, ever.
Yeah.
That's right.
That's her motto, guys.
My motto is that I have it.
Yeah, she has it tattooed.
Tattooed on my rib cage, because don't let anybody hold you down. You rise above.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
And we will see you guys next time on another episode of A Walk in My Shoes. Have a good night.